Today we're going to talk about Copaiba. So once again, before I begin, that I'm only talking about doTERRA essential oils. I'm not talking about any other company. doTERRA is an essential oil company that you can actually ingest. They are the highest quality in the world. They are the purest in the world. And they are the top and leading company. It takes a lot for doTERRA to provide the kind of quality that they do. Hi, Tanya. To provide the kind of quality that they do. And so it's very difficult for a company to match what we're doing. We've been doing this for over 10 years. And so just so that you're clear on that, if people try to say that they're like doTERRA, they're not. So today we're going to talk about Copaiba. My intention is to help you understand and learn about oils and Copaiba and all the other ways of taking care of yourself naturally. And then also, I always provide links. So if this is an oil that you want, you're going to see a link associated with that oil. And then also, if you're interested in just getting started, and you don't really care which oils to get, but you would like a group of oils, there's ways that you can get oils super discounted if you buy them together in a group. And then I also support people in that way because that tells me that you're super serious. So then I'll give you an app for free that teaches you how to use your oils. And I also give you a book. Hi, Allison. We're talking about Copaiba today. And so don't forget to like, share, love, put replay if you're watching this on the replay or anything like that. So today we're going to talk about Copaiba. And Copaiba, well, first of all, let me tell you how I use them and then a story about Copaiba for me. Like, why do I use Copaiba? So I like to use frankincense and Copaiba every day. This is my, when you start to learn about Copaiba, you're gonna understand why it is such a very valuable oil and why you would want to use this oil every day. It's super versatile. And I use it specifically because I have multiple sclerosis. And so anything that's going to have brain support for me is super important. Neurological and brain support, that's why I choose these oils. It's one of the reasons why I choose these oils. I also choose them for the emotional context, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But so these are two oils that I try to use every day. If I can get them at least twice a day, I would try to do that at least before nighttime. So I just do it every time. It's a super light oil. And so it doesn't taste really, I mean, it tastes like a tiny bit like you licked a tree, but very small, not as much as frankincense. It tastes like you licked a tree, but whatever, it is what it is. There you go, one drop, and it comes out pretty fast. This one does. I just do them together, no big deal, super easy. Okay, so Copaiba, let's talk about for your body, like the wellness part of why somebody would want to use Copaiba. Well, let me give you a testimony first about somebody and also kind of talk to you a little bit about, you kind of hear Copaiba and CBD oil in the same sentence a lot. And I'm not going to go into which one's better or how, or the whole intricacies of that. What I'm just going to give you kind of glossed overview of what Copaiba is. If you're using, so they work on the same system. And so they work on the endocannabinoid system. And so there's lots of things that they do that are very similar, and there's things that they do that are separate. So if you're using CBD oil, you can use Copaiba at the same time to get more of an effect of what you're getting that oil for. So the endocannabinoid system was actually founded by the cannabinoids. So that's why it's called the cannabinoid system. So if it was founded by Copaiba, if this oil was found first and was used scientifically in the lab to see what was going on in the body, then it would have been called the Copaiba system. So they're very similar. They're not the same, but they're very similar. Okay, so Copaiba is going to work on the systems of it's the neurological system is what I like about it, which is lots and lots of things. So let me give you a testimony first about somebody on my team. And it's such a great story. It's such an interesting story. So somebody called me or texted me on my team and said, hey, I've been using this oil. So we have capsules as well. And she said, I've been using the capsules. She was using the capsules for anxious feelings. And we'll talk about in a second all the different things you can use. Hi, Victoria. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. How are you? So she got these capsules, and I don't have them here, but they're like capsules. You just take them. And she was taking them every day for 30 days. She took them. And she texted me after 30 days and she said, hey, do you know if Copaiba, one of the side effects of that is that it stops your period? And I was like, well, I never heard anything like that. But anybody on my team, of course, if they come to me with a concern, I'm going to research it and see what I can find for them. We could work together and see what's going on. So I did. I started to look it up, and I started to see all these studies about how it actually helps that system, like the woman's system, the fertility system, that it actually helps people with their cycle and things of that side. So I thought, that's interesting. I don't know. It seems kind of weird to me that it would do that. And I've never heard of any essential oil that has a side effect even close to that. Or I haven't heard any of them that even have side effects. So I was like, I don't really know. So I was researching, and I texted back and I said, I'm really finding that it actually supports that system. And I said, are you sure that, like anybody would ask, if you stop having your period, my next question would be, are you sure that you're not pregnant? And she wrote back and she said, no, there's no way I could be pregnant. She said, I've been trying for years to get pregnant, like 4 years or something like that. I can't remember what she told me, something like that. She said to get pregnant. And she got pregnant. Anyway, so she went, and I just told you, she went and got tested, and sure enough, she was pregnant. So is that correlation or causation? I don't know, but that is a testimony of somebody who was actually using the oil. She said that there was nothing else that she was using. Nothing else was different. This was the only thing that she's changed. So she swore that that was the thing that stopped her period. Most people, when they come to me with something like that, they're like frantic, like, oh my goodness, because the medication world is so crazy like that. Like, you could take a medication, it could do that for you. And when people start using essential oils, they think automatically, oh, it must be this, the essential oil is causing this for me. And so we have to really kind of take a look at it and say, is it causation? Or is it just correlation that you were just using it at the same time that happened? So it could just be possible that, God blessed her with a child at the time that she happened to be using Copaiba. But it could be that it actually was helpful in balancing that system for her, since I did see studies on the internet when I started to search Copaiba. And I'll show you what it looks like. That's the word. Oh, you can't see, it's backwards. Copaiba. Hi, Nikki, again. I'm back on. I was like, I'll go ahead and do another video since I'm here and I'm already kind of set up to do one. Okay, so that is a very, very awesome story. Let's talk about the other uses of Copaiba, why somebody want to bring this oil in their home. And this oil is probably around the $30 range for 250 drops. Pretty good. Pretty 250 doses for $30. You can't even get, well, I guess you can get a prescription if you're using insurance, but you got to deal with the side effects on that one. Yay. Okay. So thank you for sharing that with us, Nikki. And so, yeah, we'll work on that. And then we'll also, I'll reach out to you and help you with some other things that I've found that might help you as well. It's actually a book called The Essential Midwife. So if that's something that you're wanting in your life and you're needing some help in that area, Essential Midwife is a midwife who uses essential oils, uses doTERRA, and she has a whole book out there, and it's the one that everybody in doTERRA swears by. So take a look at that book. I can probably put a link of that book actually in this as well for you. Okay, so one reason why you would want to use this oil and bring this oil into your life is because it's great for tension. Tension here, tension anywhere in your body. Lots of people have that tension in their back. They've had it for a while. That tension just kind of comes and goes, and they're like, oh, that. And so it's a great oil for that. I like to use that along with Deep Blue. If I'm going to use that for my back, if I've had some issues going on in that area, I would use these two together. So that's just my thing. Okay. So any kind of tension here, I can't say the words because I can't make medical claims. So I'm not making any medical claims. I'm just telling you that's what people generally use them for. And so if you have something like that, you would just gently massage the oil. You just take one drop and put it right here and kind of massage it. like that. So we're talking 250 drops, right? 250 doses. You can also massage it into your scalp if you have some stuff like that going on. You can massage it in the back of your neck. You can massage it wherever you have any kind of inflammation and occasional pain. You can actually massage it in those areas. A lot of people like to use it on their skin as well, which is a new thing that I'm starting to learn, is that if you have any kind of blemishes on your skin, in your facial skin, so blemishes could be kind of like these fine lines right there. Also things that pop up all over on, adults get them too, and children get them a lot. Then you can use it for that. And then also, it's a great one if you're wearing your shoes and your feet rub together a little too much, and then you have something that kind of pops up in that area just from that friction. You can use it there as well. This is a great oil for your circulatory system. So if you have anything going on with the circulatory system, it can help balance that out. So when I'm putting this oil under my tongue, I'm not only helping myself neurologically, I'm also helping my circulatory system, which is really awesome. But it says when using that for specifically if the pressure in your body is raising, you can actually use this on the bottom of your feet twice daily, and that's how you could use it. Yes, and so I can't actually say that, Nikki, but yes, that is kind of what I'm referring to. And so being that you have those two issues, this would be a great oil for you. I would suggest that I would encourage you to use the actual soft gels because they're just easy to use and it's something that people are normally used to. So yes, and you can get the oil and put that on your face, or you could, hi Tisha, how are you doing? You can get the oil, put it on your face. And yeah, so something that you can think about. Another great one, so we're talking about feet, and sometimes we have dryness on our feet, and sometimes that dryness like makes our feet itch a lot. And so sometimes people use melaleuca for that, which is tea tree oil, but you can also use copaiba in that situation. So say you went to shower at the gym, say at like Gold's Gym or 24-Hour Fitness or something like that, and you come home and your feet are really, really itchy, and you're like, oh gosh, what can I put on my feet? My feet are super itchy from showering at the gym. Then you can actually use copaiba oil, and it just says just put several drops on your feet while they're dry and clean, and then that should help you out. This is a great detox oil as well. So this is an oil that it's one of the staples that should be in everybody's home. So lavender is one of those. It's super, super versatile, but copaiba as well. So we know that it works on the circulatory system. We know that it works in the cardiovascular system. We know that not works, but it supports. That's what I should be saying. Sorry about that. So it supports those, and then it also can support lots of, oh gosh, I don't know how to say that. Okay, so with being compliant on social media. So I told you that she used it for anxious feelings. You can also use this oil for any kind of occasional stuffiness that's happening inside of your sinus cavities, things of that sort. You can use this for anything that's attacking your body. Did it say what that's the other one? Oh, it's an analgesic. So there you go. I can say those. Analgesic, it's antifungal, anti-inflammatory. It's a diuretic and an expectorant. An expectorant is if you have a lot of gunk inside of your chest and you want to get it out and you want to cough it out, it actually can assist you with that type of response in your body. So those are the main things about this oil wellness-wise. Now there's other things because this didn't say anything about the women's system, but as you can see, it balanced that system. So the cool thing about oils is even though you're working on one system of the body, it can actually help and balance other systems of the body as well. So very cool. All right, so copaiba, let's talk about the emotional component of copaiba and why you would want to use this and why do I use this oil every day. So copaiba is actually the oil of unveiling. And so let's kind of just go through it a little bit. So copaiba will Okay, so let me see how I'm going to do this so I don't copy this book straight up. Okay, so if you're looking for the deeper meanings of your life, and sometimes you need to connect into your past in order to do that, this is a good oil to do that. It's the oil of unveiling, which means it's going to take off. So we're looking at life through a certain paradigm and a certain way of looking at things through our belief systems. And so sometimes in life, we're able to actually take that that veil off, and you're able to see things. It's kind of like looking through a see-through curtain, where you can kind of see things the way that they are, but you're not really getting it. Well, if you take that see-through, you take that see-through curtain away, and now you can see it with full clarity. And so that's kind of what this oil will help assist you emotionally if you're going to use that. So smelling it, using it on the bottom of your feet, or even putting it under your tongue, all of those things can help you with that. And so it's also good at looking at the deeper and shadowy, kind of dark areas of your life. So I always kind of think about this oil as like an oil to help somebody who self-sabotages throughout the day without even knowing it. Like sometimes we do it just based on our belief systems. If and so if that's something that is happening to you and you're like, I keep like sabotaging myself, I keep, every time I want to do this, I make it harder for myself by going this other direction. And so it's a great oil for that, because it will it helps you to become more aware of that shadow aspect of yourself, and help you discover exactly who you really are and what it is that you need in order to progress through to the next level of your life. So it helps you kind of like look at yourself so that you can level up. So if you're needing this oil in your life, it's kind of one that helps you with self-awareness and vulnerability, of resolving your own kind of emotional pain that's actually hidden way deep within your body, your mind, and your spirit. It's a good oil for people who are deep in the feelings of guilt, shame, and inadequacy, unworthiness. Those things that are kind of taught to us early on in our childhood, we've kind of picked those up somewhere along the line, and then we bring those through our adult life. So people who are either in a shame-based relationship, or they have learned shame-based things. So that means that you really kind of every time something goes wrong, you immediately think that it's your fault. Like you did something wrong. It's your fault that this happened. Everything is very shameful for you. Then this would be a good oil for you to use. Instead of looking through the filter of less than, it will help you to kind of start to see the perceptions of the world that have been extremely painful for you, so that you can start to learn to heal and get through all of that. So you're probably thinking, like, why are you crazy enough to use this oil every day? Because I don't want to live in a reality that is detrimental to me and going to continue to sabotage the things that I'm trying to do and create in life. So it will help people. So these two oils together, this oil will help you if you're caught in like a lower vibration. Lower vibrations are energy, thought patterns of shame, blame, fear, self-loathing, guilt, anything that's unconsciously hidden in there from patterns of maybe it could have been like emotional abuse when you were younger, or it could be just living through life and adopting belief systems that aren't true. So, because frankincense is a high vibration oil, and then this one's going to help dispel the lower vibration. So working with those together are really important for me. Okay. If you've done something in your life where you have a lot of guilt and shame around that, and it makes it difficult for you to move through that move through that feeling in order to get through a feeling that's more appropriate, that will help you to learn to forgive a little bit more. So this would be a good oil to use with the forgive oil. So you can use them together, because this will help you move through those horrible feelings so that you can get through to the forgiveness. It's also good for people who overcompensate or rebel. So overcompensate is someone who is someone who like will do everything for everyone. Like, oh, I don't want you to have to do that. I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, I don't want you to have to do that. I'll do that for you. So that's kind of overcompensating personality, is the person who does everything in the relationship. I'll go to the grocery store. No, I'll get the gas. No, I'll do this. No, I'll do that. And there are people who are taking the responsibilities of everyone and taking them onto their plate. And so it's good oil for that. Also good oil for someone who's just rebelling against life and rebelling against the system, and just rebelling against everything. It's a good oil for you. It's a good oil to help you accept that the reality of your past choices and experiences allows you to become and grow into something new and better. And okay, hold on. Ooh, that's really good. So it is an oil that will help you redefine your childhood experiences so that you can become into your whole self, your whole being. Hi, Miles. Hi, Mercedes. How are you guys doing? So we're talking about Copaiba oil. We're at the end of this session today. We're talking about the emotional aspects of this oil, and it's a pretty deep oil. It's not like some of the other oils that I've gone over, but it's interesting because physically the oil is great for your neurological system, and then also your endocannabinoid system, which controls lots of things, including your cardiovascular system. So for those of you who are going through the emotional component of this with me, you're kind of seeing that the cardiovascular system, if you're sick in your cardiovascular system, you're sick in your heart, you're sick in your heart emotions. This is a deep oil for all those heart emotions. And then it also, if it's a neurological system, it's the entire body system. It is just, the oil is for guilt and shame. It's also an oil for blame and fear and self-loathing, self-sabotage, those types of things. And also helping you with healing your inner child and your childhood wounds, just wounds that kind of we grab onto as we grow up. And, a child, these are even wounds like in our 20s. For those of you who are older than 20, you have some wounds that are happening in that. So Miles, you're like getting close to your 20s. I don't even know if your 20s are pretty close, right? So so for you, it'd be all the childhood stuff that you dealt with growing up as a child. And then for the rest of us who are older, I mean, we're talking even in your 20s and 30s, you're still growing at that point. And so it's important to have an oil that can support you through that. It's an oil that helps you see that you can move through those emotions, that it's only temporary. So when people are going back and looking, this is I'm going to take a break for a second from that and just kind of explain that when people go back and look at their past traumas in order for them to move forward, one of the things that comes up is that they start to feel the same feelings. So some people won't even do it because they don't want to feel those same feelings. But you have to understand that you're only going to feel a feeling for 6 minutes, I think it is, that you only feel that feeling. So if I went back and I looked at a feeling of a time that made me really sad, maybe kids made fun of me or something like that. And here's the crazy thing, those kids don't even remember that. Like if you were to go and talk to some of those kids from a long time ago today, they don't remember any of that because they didn't emotionally attach to it. You did. You emotionally attached to that, them making fun of you or them saying bad things about you because it was you. So you took it and emotionally attached to it. When you do that, you build a story around it. Now that trauma has a story. As you become older and you start to look at those things, because if you don't look at them, they will self-sabotage you. You will get trapped into this circle of how come I can't get to the success that I want to get in its fullest and finest. So we have to dispel the thought patterns around the trauma so that you can heal and release that stuff out so that you don't hold on to things. And here's the thing is you may not think about that stuff, but it's still there. It's still there because when emotional trauma happens to you, your cellular structure is changed for good. So I'm learning in this book that I'm reading about the cellular makeup. I posted on my Facebook page. I'm learning in this book about cellular, about how our cells actually get information. And so everybody thinks that the information is like stored in the DNA or it's made in the DNA, and that's not true. Your information is stored in your DNA. Anything that you come contact with on a daily basis is stored in your DNA. So that time when that person made fun of you, or whatever, and you took that emotional language and you translated it into your body, you changed your DNA at that point in time when you accepted that information to be true about you. And so whatever it was, I think there's a song called ODD, odd. And she says, she's singing about being odd. I'm the one in the back of the class, dark hair, something. And she's like, in the song, if you listen to the lyrics, she says, I finally one day just accepted what you said to be true. And that's what we do. Like somebody could be making fun of you over and over and over again and tell you things about you, and you just accept those things to be true. Well, what happens in your cellular makeup is that actually your cell membranes, it's the membranes of the cells that actually bring in that information. So you see it, you smell it, you taste it, you touch it. It seems real. You bring it into your body and you say, yes, this is real. That's the way that it works. And then your body goes, okay, I'm going to pass it along to your DNA. And it passes it along to your DNA, and your DNA then duplicates, I can't think of the word. It duplicates. And then it creates RNA and then creates a new cell. And now that cell says, this is the truth. This is the way we do it from now on. This is what happened. This horrible experience. I'm going to hold on to this forever until you have to finally release it one day by using essential oils, by journaling out, by looking at it. You have to look at it in its face and say, yes, I remember when that happened. And yes, it hurt really badly. It hurt really badly. And I feel the way it hurts right now. And I'm going to use Copaiba and I'm going to move through this emotion. I'm going to move through it. It's only going to last 6 seconds if I don't put a story to it. I'm just going to feel, yes, I feel empty inside. Yes, I feel like nobody loves me. I feel vulnerable. I feel all these things, and I feel really sad, and I feel lonely. And those are the feelings that will come up, and you let them come up with Copaiba. Just let them release. So why do I use this oil every day? Because the universe, God, my husband, my family shows me things, and I get to choose whether or not I'm going to look at it or if I'm just going to ignore it. I get to choose. They show me things about myself. They mirror to me who I am and who I've become. And I get to make a choice. Do I look at it to see what it's trying to tell me about who I've become and who I am and who I was? Or do I just ignore it? You get that choice. If you ignore it and ignore it and ignore it, guess what? You're going to get sick. Sorry. You're going to get sick. Something's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? You've got to look at it. Take a look at it and say, okay, ooh, that's super ugly. I remember that. Oh gosh, that was a bad feeling. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate that feeling. And I'm going to move through it and grab my Copaiba. I'm thinking about it. It's horrible. I want to cry. I feel like crushed. I feel crushed. I feel like I want to hide. Take my Copaiba. 30 seconds to a minute or 2 minutes. I'm waiting for the feeling to pass. I'm waiting for it to pass. I'm waiting for it to pass. I feel like it's passing. I'm going to grab another oil, which is going to be uplifting. I see one right here, lemon oil, super uplifting. I'm going to use my oil. Move through the emotion. Let it release, let it pass, let it go. Let it not be a part of you anymore. There you go. That's how you use Copaiba. So spiritual, so those emotions are only temporary. Everything in life is only temporary. Don't hold on to them. And the things that you've held on to the past, go look at them. It's not that scary. You already went through it before once anyway, and you lived. So go back and look through it and process it as an adult, because the child never did. You never processed that as a child. You just felt hopeless. You felt unworthy. You felt ugly. You felt like you didn't want to be here, right? So that's you just felt those feelings and didn't know what to do with them. They were big, big, big feelings. And so maybe you acted out. Maybe maybe you did things that you're not so proud of. And so guilt and shame. Hi, Joe. How are you? We're learning about Copaiba. So along with Copaiba, let's see if there's anything else that I did not go over. So as you move through those emotions, as you move through them, so James, he's been journaling and he's been going through some things, and one day he said to me, because I have done a lot of it already, so he comes to me and he says, hey, I'm feeling really bad. Like I went through and I looked at something that made me feel really bad, and I'm as a child, and he said, I'm feeling really bad. Like, how long is this gonna last? And I said, just a couple of minutes. If you just move through the emotion, just a couple of minutes, and then it'll be gone for good. And then you never have to look at that again. You just get rid of it. And he goes, okay. And I said, and don't forget to use your oils to help you process some of that stuff. And he goes, well, I haven't thought about that stuff in 25 years, 30 years. I haven't thought about that. And I didn't even know that it bothered me anymore. And I go, it's cool. I totally get it. I get it. So we're learning to become more accepted of ourselves. It helps to, this oil will help you learn to value yourself a little bit more. And so why would I want to use the oil of unveiling? The oil of unveiling is going to take away that curtain that's over my eyes, that either one is my belief systems are kind of going through that curtain and not showing me the full picture. I want to see the full picture. I want to see clarity. So why would I want to do that? Because we can't move forward in life if we keep looking through the same paradigm. So look at this. If we didn't change, or if we don't change, because I know that some people haven't changed their paradigm of racism. If you don't, we can never grow. We can never get any better. We can never connect more and have more experiences with people if we don't take that away. So if we continue to live through the paradigm and the belief systems of a certain belief system, then we're never going to move on to the next level of who we can become and who we are going to become as a culture. So if we all, let's say we all stayed with those same paradigms that we had in the 1950s or whatever about, colored sinks and colored bathrooms. And we look at that now and we're like, that is crazy. Like, why would anybody do that? That doesn't make any sense. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to move through those old belief systems, those old experiences, those old things, take the veil away, take a look at what it is, process it by using Copaiba. When it's too much to handle emotionally, it's okay. It's only going to take 6 minutes. And then you can use peppermint to lighten that up for you. Okay. So anyway, that's all that I really have. If you're going to use this oil, I suggest that you use it under your tongue, but I suggest that you use it with frankincense. I suggest that you do it every day. However, if you're using it in your body, you have manifested some things inside of your body from your thoughts and your belief systems, and those things manifest in tension anywhere inside your body. Sometimes it manifests so much that it becomes pain. Sometimes it manifests so much that it becomes an actual disease. Whichever, then you start using these and start healing yourself from within. Okay, so it was great. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I hope that you learned something new, and I'll have it all tagged up at the top so that if you want to get this in your life, you can. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.